speaking. You ready? Yep. I want all of you to close your eyes now and think of a time when U.S. military's focus was to find weapons of mass destruction back in Iraq in 2003. After this unimagined failure, the U.S. military altered their focus on democratizing this war-torn country to ultimately support the people they saved from a dictator, to give these people security they could never even dream of, and create a connection that would last for years. Now let's go back to reality. The biggest connections we have with most of these people in Iraq are the bullets we've shared in between each other through the years. Is it all the U.S. military's fault or the Iraqi citizens? Right now it's hard to determine, but poor planning by the U.S. military after the initial invasion didn't set things up for successful intervention, where they were combined into prison camps and all this stuff that obviously a nation's gonna be sick of after a while, and then retaliate back in any way they can. Not to blame them entirely, but the uncertainty of their purpose ultimately not helping the situation in Iraq. In his poem Body Bags, Brian Turner shares a story in which he and a group of soldiers attacked several Iraqi men. The narrator attempts to put himself in the Iraqi shoes in this poem, going into every possible detail. He spends time reflecting on himself and his fellow soldiers and what they have just done to these Iraqi men. The speaker appears to be concerned about these actions and why they have occurred in such a brutal fashion. Throughout the poem, the narrator seems to almost like a shadow of his former self, revealing uncertainty of his purpose along with the involvement of the U.S. military while reflecting on his time in war. The narrator's uncertainty of his own purpose and the purpose of the military in Iraq is shown in several of his lines. His reflection includes all the soldiers standing over the bodies in which they have just slain, showing regret in their faces through the expression of the crows. He revives these dead men through the words he gives, questioning why the soldiers would kill them. Turner wants to be reassured that he was only following orders, but this only makes the shadow above him darken. While Turner began his military career, he was first deployed in the Bosnia conflict after the catastrophe and mostly supporting these people. And he goes from this war to ultimately hunting people down and killing them, going from helping people to hunting them down. That's what I was saying. The involvement of the United States in the Iraq War was questionable at best. First, we went from finding weapons of mass destruction to democratizing this war-torn country. With this indecision, popularity of the war soon declined right after initial invasion. With this, however compelling democracy might become, the effort to democratize this nation so far has not worked. Although the intent was in the right direction, nothing prepared the U.S. for the aftermath of the invasion, where they were controlling citizens in the way they thought was right, and the leadership not being in the right mindset because of their reflection on an Arabic nation that they didn't have the support they usually have with other nations. The struggle to connect with this nation was overwhelming and created turmoil within the U.S. military. This turmoil is within the poem, not only for the U.S. military, but for Brian Turner as well. He fights with this notion of connection with these people of Iraq, even if he must follow orders and ultimately attack them. Turner shows his identity is at risk, but he can only envision these dead Iraqi men, wondering who these people are, why would they kill me? He struggles with this throughout the poem, and his identity is at risk. Brian Turner's identity is everything to him, much like it is for everyone in this room. Throughout the lines of body bags, questioning why these soldiers would kill him. Turner questions the same thing in doing so, along with his identity and the overall purpose of the Iraq War. His history in the Bosnia conflict showed him helping the others, while now he's hunting them down, making him question why he was in Iraq in the first place, and this uneasy feeling of doubt spread throughout the United States as well. The intent for the war did not help anything, going from the destruction of, finding weapons of mass destruction and democratizing this war-torn country. Yet, there was never a deep connection that made between the US military and the people of it, land they invaded. This causes Turner to attempt to link to these dead Iraqi men, visualizing what he's done over and over again, coming to the conclusion that this uncertainty was because of connection. And ultimately, the only connection they share right now is the bullet lodged in the back of their heads.